children. Today we will do the chapter Letters and Email, chapter number 29 from your Viva publication book, class 8th, CBSE board. So how to write a letter or how to write an email? When we speak over the phone, we communicate, but the words and feelings exchanged are soon forgotten. A letter, on the other hand, can be read time and again. Letter writing is slow dying out as email and instant messaging have taken its place. In earlier times, letter written by famous people told us many things about their lives and views. तो पहले के ज़माने में काफ़ी लेटर लिखे जाते थे. अब जो है उनकी जगह इंस्टेंट मैसेजेस आ गए हैं और ईमेल्स आ गए हैं. पर कंपेयर टू फ़ोन कॉल, अगर हम फ़ोन कॉल पे बात करते हैं तो जो भी हमने बात की है वो थोड़े दिन बाद भूल जाता है, जो भी इंसान जिससे हमने वो बात कही है. पर लेटर अगर होता है तो हम उसे बार बार पढ़ सकते हैं और हमारी जो मेमोरीज़ हैं उन्हें हमेशा ताज़ा रख सकते हैं. तो अभी भी आज के टाइम में भी लेटर्स एंड ईमेल्स दे आर स्टिल रिटन. So there are two types of letters. Informal letters are letters written to friends and relatives, and formal letters are letters written to government officials, business houses, letters to the editor of a newspaper, applications and invitations. तो जो इनफॉर्मल लेटर होता है वो अपने दोस्तों को, अपने संबंधियों को, अपने रिलेटिव्स को लिखा जाता है. और जो फॉर्मल लेटर होता है वो किसी भी ऑफिशियल पर्पस के लिए होता है या किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए होता है. तो इनफॉर्मल लेटर कैसे लिखते हैं देखते हैं हम. हियर इज़ द फॉर्मेट ऑफ एन इनफॉर्मल लेटर. सो आई विल जस्ट शो इट how it looks. So on the top left, on the top left there is writer's address. So here it is written 45 Linking Road, Pune 123456. So in this address we also have to write pin code, and leaving a line below that we will write date, which is here it is written 1st February 2018. So this is how we begin informal letter, and then there is salutation below the date. Okay, we will leave one line after date and then we will write salutation, and here the salutation written is dear mother. So you can write dear mother, dear friend, or you can write the name of the friend also, dear Rahul, dear Rita. So you can write the salutation as dear and the name of the person or the relation of that person to you. And then there comes the body of the letter. The body of the letter, it will have the content which is related to the purpose of your letter. So whatever you have to write in this part. About what you are writing the letter. After writing the letter, then you will end the letter in subscription, and that will be at the bottom left. So you will leave one line after body of letter, and then you will write subscription, and the subscription can be your loving son, your loving daughter, your loving niece, your loving friend, and then you can write your signature below that. So this is the format of writing an informal letter. You can see it, I have zoomed it also, and this is the basic format. When writing an informal letter, the letter must be complete with the pin code of the place. So you have to write the pin code of the place essentially. The date can be written as February 1st, 2018 or 1st February 2018. So the format in which the date should be written should be February 1st, 2018 or 1 February 2018. So these are the two formats of writing date. No other format of date should be used. Only these formats should be used. The salutation can be written as Dear Uncle, My dear Uncle, etc., using a capital letter for the person being addressed. The subscription can be written in two ways: yours affectionately or your son. So you have to remember one point, that when you are writing yours affectionately, you will not write apostrophe s. In yours, you will not write apostrophe s. You will write s, but you will not use the apostrophe. And then you can also write your son, or you can write yours affectionately. So these are the two subscription. Now here is a sample letter. I will just quickly read out. So on the top left, there is the address of the person who is writing the letter. And then leaving one line, there is the date in the format which is given. Okay. And then there is salutation, which is Dear Seema. You can also write a comma after that. Then the body of the letter is, It was great meeting you when you came down to Mumbai last month. I want to congratulate you for passing the class 12 exam with distinction in subjects. It is wonderful to know that you scored so well in 3 subjects and have topped in your school. My parents are also extremely happy to know of your brilliant success. We are proud of you and send you our heartiest congratulations. There is no doubt that your hard work has borne fruits. Convey our sincerest regards to Uncle Sudhir and Aunt Maya. Yours affectionately, Anu. So this is the letter, and then this is the sample letter too. I will quickly read out this letter so that you know how to write a letter. On the top left is the address of that person. Then there is date in the prescribed format. Then there is salutation, and then there is body of the essay, which is, It has been a long time since I wrote. I want to tell you about my camping trip. Last month I went camping to Dhanolti with 6 of my friends during the winter break. It was 7-day trip. We went by bus and reached there by evening. We camped out in the woods. The night sky was mostly clear and we enjoyed the beauty of the moon and the stars. It was wonderful to see thousands of stars in a clear sky. We sat around the campfire and told stories and jokes. We went for long walks and trekking. The natural beauty of this place is really breathtaking. There are pine trees all around, and a small river flows, winding its way through the valleys and hills. I loved the peace and calm and did not miss TV or the hustle and bustle of the city, and I definitely did not get bored. It was really a great time for all of us. I wish you were with us. your niece Ritu. So, Ritu is writing about her camping trip to Dhanolti. Okay, so this letter is about the fun she had during her camping trip. So now in exercise A, 5 letter writing tasks are given, and you have to write letter on any one of the topic. You can go through these topics, take the screenshot, or open your book, and you have to write at least one essay in your notebook. Now we will come to formal letter. Formal letters, okay? We write formal letters for business or for official communications, like applications to banks or government offices when applying for or resigning from jobs, placing orders, etc. Today, with the onset of emails, fewer formal letters are written. They are, however, still quite necessary for a number of purposes. Okay, so you know when to write a formal letter. They can be written when you have to write an application to the bank or to the government organization, you have to write, or when you have to apply for a job, or you have to resign from a job, or you have to place orders. So these are the uh, places where you have to write formal letters. When writing a formal letter, keep the following points in mind. You have to keep the following points in mind. The first one is your letter should be short and to the point. The letter should not be elaborate. You don't have to write stories in the letter. You have to just write short points. Make sure what you write is relevant to the subject. Make sure there are no grammatical or spelling mistakes. So you have to write what is relevant to the subject, what is related to the subject. Okay? And then you don't have to make any grammatical mistakes in your formal letters, because then that will give a bad sign to the person who is reading that letter. Okay, so your credibility can go down if you make grammatical or spelling mistakes. The tone of the letter must be polite even if you are complaining. So, even if you are complaining, you should not be rude in your letter. You have to be very polite in your letter. Present your letter well. So, you have to follow the format of writing a formal letter. Guidelines for writing a formal letter. So, begin by writing your address on the top left hand corner. So, on the top left, you write your address. The name and or the designation of the person you are writing to should be written below this. The date may be written after the sender's address, or it can be written after the details of the person being addressed. So you have to write the date below your address, and then you have to write the designation of the person to whom you are writing the letter. Designation means the post of that person to whom you are writing the letter. So the salutations may be Dear Mr. Prasad or Miss Banerjee. If the name of the receiver is not known, then Dear Sir or Madam is used. So you have to write salutation after that, after you have addressed the person. So first you have to write the designation of the person to whom you are writing the letter, and after that you have to write the address of that person to whom you are writing the letter. And after that, leaving one line, you have to write Dear Mr. Prasad or Miss Banerjee. You have to write the name of the person, or simply you can write Sir or Madam. And now the next point, put the subject line directly after salutation. Make sure that the subject line is written in bold and is underlined. This allows the receiver to get a fair idea of the purpose of the letter. So below your salutation, you will write the subject of the letter. Subject means the main topic of that formal letter. the main reason or the purpose about what you're writing the letter, that you have to write in subject. And the subject should be very short, it should not be elaborate, it should be to the point. And you have to write the subject in bold letters, and you have to underline it also. If you are typing the letter, then you have to write it in bold letters and you have to underline it also. Now, the next point, make sure to keep the content brief and to the point. Divide the content into short, clear paragraphs. So, while writing the body of the letter, you have to write brief, or you have to write to the point statements. Okay, so your content should be brief and to the point. You don't have to write unnecessary points in the body of the letter. And you have to divide the body of the letter into short, clear paragraphs. Okay, so you can divide it into paragraphs also. So remember to get straight to the point. Do not include any unnecessary or supplementary information. Never use flowery language or long words to appear learned. So you don't have to use flowery languages. Okay, flowery languages means very poetic language or very flattering language. You don't have to show your linguistic skills, how good you are at your language. You don't have to show your skills in the letter. You have to write only to the point statements in the letter. Your sentences should be to the point and right on the topic. You don't have to write unnecessary or related stuff in the body of the letter. So you don't have to write unnecessary information. The first paragraph should be short and state the purpose of the letter. So in the first paragraph, you should write the purpose of the letter. For example, to make an inquiry or complain or request something, etc. So these are examples of the first paragraph statements. Now we will move on to the next point. The paragraph or paragraphs in the middle of the letter should contain the relevant information behind the writing of the letter. So keep the information to the essentials and concentrate on organizing it in a clear and logical manner rather than expanding it too much. So in the body of the letter also, you have to write to the point statements and you don't have to elaborate it. Okay, and you can give relevant information. Whatever information is relevant or of use, that information you have to give in the middle paragraph. The last paragraph of a formal letter should state what action you expect the recipient to take, to refund an amount, send you an information, etc. So in the last paragraph, you have to write what action you are expecting from the person to whom you are writing the letter. Okay, in letters to the editor, give clear details of the topic, the problem, its causes and effects, and possible solutions. Do not ask the editor to solve your problem. So if you're writing a letter to an editor, so it's but obvious that you will state some of the problems to the editor and you will want the editor to publish an article based on that topic. So you have to just write a letter to the editor giving details of the topic. You have to detail the topic and you have to write about your problem, what are the causes of the problem, and what are the effects of the problem. But you don't have to ask the editor to solve your problem. Your problem will be solved by the organization and not the editor. So you don't have to ask the editor to solve your problem. When you have finished, end the letter with yours sincerely. If you have started with the name of the person, if your salutation is dear sir or madam, then end it with yours faithfully. So many of us confuse while writing the subscription or salutation, while writing the subscription. So if you have started your salutation with dear sir or madam, then you will write yours faithfully, And if you have yours started your letter with dear name of the person, then you will write sincerely, yours sincerely. So if you have written name of the person in salutation, then you will write yours sincerely. And if you have written dear sir or dear madam and you have not written the name of the person, so then you will write yours faithfully. And sign in your name below this and write your name, full name below your signature. And then you have to uh, write your name, and below that you have to write your signature. So this is the format of a formal letter. On the top left there is writer's address. After leaving one line there is the date, and below the date is the designation of the person to whom you are writing the letter, and here the designation is the editor. Below that you will write the address of the person to whom you are writing the letter, and then below that you will write salutation, which is dear sir or dear madam. Below salutation you will write the subject of the letter, and below the subject you will write the body of the letter, which can be composed of more than one paragraphs as well. So here three paragraphs are given, so you can divide your body of you will divide the body of informal letter into paragraphs. And then in the last, at the bottom left, you will write yours faithfully. Why yours faithfully you will write? Because you have written dear sir or dear madam. If you would have written the name of the person, dear Mr. Ramesh or dear Sham, then you would have written yours sincerely. But since you have not written your name, you will write yours faithfully. And after that you will write your signature and then the designation of yourself. So this is a sample letter. Write a letter to the editor of a national daily highlighting the problem of waterlogging in the streets due to poor maintenance of drains. So you must have seen that during rains there is waterlogging on the streets, and the drainage system is not proper. So because of that there is waterlogging in the streets. So water gets filled in the streets or the roads. Why? Due to improper drainage. So on the top left we can see that the address of that person is written, and leaving one line there is date, and then leaving one line there is the designation of the person to whom you are writing the letter. So here the designation is the editor, Hindustan Times, HT House, KG Mar, New Delhi 110001. So here the address is also written and the pin code of that person is also written. So you will write the official address, not the personal address of that person. Okay, so here official address will be written. And then you will write the salutation, which is here dear sir or madam, and then you will write your subject, which is waterlogging due to poor maintenance of drains. So then you will write the subject. The national capital Delhi has seen many rainfalls this season, and while this is good news for the groundwater level and hence the water supply in the city, the poor maintenance of drains has caused great inconvenience to commuters. So what they are saying is that during rains the roads get filled with water, and this is due to poor drainage system. Everywhere roads are flooded, at some places with knee deep water. So at some places the water is knee deep, means it comes up till your knee. Underpasses are blocked as they remain submerged for hours. So underpass, for example, there is an ground passage, so that becomes blocked because water is uh, clogged in that uh, underground passage. So the underground passage is filled with water, so nobody can go from there as well. As a result, there are heavy traffic jams all over the city with people stuck in traffic for hours on end. So, because of this, the people get stuck in traffic for hours. Municipal authorities should have cleared the drains before the onset of the rains. But as usual, this has not been done. So it is the responsibility of municipal authorities or municipal corporation to clear drainage system before rain. मतलब नालियों की सफाई कराना हमारे म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन का काम होता है बारिश के आने के पहले, और उन्होंने ये काम नहीं कराया. So, authorities admitted that the drainage was not functioning properly and would need to be reviewed. In many places, there is no plan for drainage and hence waterlogging occurs. The presidents, associations of various housing societies can take responsibility by ensuring the drains in the areas function properly. So, what he wants is that the President's Association of Housing Society can take responsibility by ensuring that the drainage system in their area is proper. So he is saying that the news editor should write an article in newspaper, and he should write that the president of the society मीन्स हर सोसाइटी का एक प्रेसिडेंट होता है, तो वो अलग अलग सोसाइटी के प्रेसिडेंट्स मिलकर एक कमिटी बनाएं और उसमें ये डिसाइड करें कि उनको कैसे अपना ड्रेनेज साफ़ करना है. So the President's Association of various housing society can take responsibilities. Municipal bodies should be also be accounted for their work. And he is saying that municipal corporation जो है उसको भी इस बारे में बोला जाए कि वो नालियों की सफाई कराएं बरसात के पहले. Only then will this problem be solved, and then can call ourselves a world class city. So what he wants is that his city should be called world class city. वो चाहता है कि उसका शहर बहुत अच्छे शहरों में गिना जाए, और वो कह रहा है कि जब ये नालियाँ साफ़ होंगी तभी हमारा शहर एक अच्छा शहर बन पाएगा. So now this is sample letter 2. I have left this letter for you all to read. Okay, so you all have to read this letter by yourself. And now I will conclude this letter, this chapter. So you have to write one formal letter and one informal letter, and you have to send me by Google form.